Dartmouth Community Media, your source for all things Dartmouth, is proud to present exclusive coverage of Dartmouth High School varsity softball action here at the Quinn Elementary School. Hello again, everyone. Ian Abreu joined alongside Pat Dulfer here. As you see, the homestanding Indians at 1-0 are playing host to the 0-2 Bishop Stang Spartans in a old-school crosstown rivalry tilt here this afternoon. Pat, it's a pleasure to have you alongside with us. And before we get into the X's and O's and backstory of this game, since this is your first game and telecast with us here at DCTV, maybe you should tell our fans and our listeners a little bit about yourself.
Sure, Ian. Thank you, and it's a pleasure to be here with you too on this beautiful day.
It is,
in
yes.
May. So I'm actually a native New Yorker.
We won't hold that against you.
Adopted New England as my hometown for life. My wife and I moved here about 6 years ago, and anyway, I've got a heavy background in media, advertising, and marketing, with a great love for sports. Baseball, softball, and hockey are probably right up there at the top of my list. So just excited to be here and looking forward to a wonderful season with you, Ian.
Well, Pat, and I am as well, and I'm happy to have you and happy to have suggested you work with me this year. I know you know the games of baseball and softball very well, and I know you would have been a welcomed and much-needed addition to our team, so thank you for being here. A little bit about this afternoon's contest, Pat. We have two teams that seem to be on the opposite ends of the spectrum. We have one team in Dartmouth coming off a nice win earlier this week. They're laden with a lot of upperclassmen and seniors. They're really headed into a direction of maybe a league title. They're playing against a Bishop Stang team coming off a couple of tough losses to start their season, and they are loaded with a lot of underclassmen. So one team ready and poised for perhaps a deep run, and the other, well, quite frankly, maybe there's some growing pains going on.
For a building stage, yes. Well, with Dartmouth being rained out on Monday, they did get to play Bridgewater yesterday as an away game. Samara Turjan had 2 hits and an RBI to lead the Indians to their first win in their season opener, and Ali Oliveira struck out 4 in the first 6 innings. On the other side, Bishop Fian defeated Bishop Stang 12-3. Olivia Brousseau went 2 for 3 with a double, 2 RBIs to lead the Spartans, who also got contributions from Emma Gomez with an RBI, and Michaela Brightman, who went 1 for 3 with a double, and Grace Mata 1 for 3 with a triple.
Well, there you have it. There's the backstory. The Indians 1-0 against the visiting Spartans from all the way across town. It's not too far, just right down the street here in the town of Dartmouth. And again, let's take a look at the starting lineup and the batting order for the Bishop Stang Spartans. Leading off will be Sabrina Pereira, the third baseman. Batting second will be the second baseman, Grace Motto. Batting third, the shortstop, will be Michaela Brightman. Batting cleanup will be the catcher, Olivia Brousseau. Batting fifth and at first base will be Emma Gomes. Batting sixth and in right field, Hannah Romalo. Batting seventh and in left field will be Eleanor Senna. Batting eighth and will be the designated player, similar to a designated hitter, will be Sienna Sylvia. And batting ninth and rounding out the Spartan order will be Avery Clough, the center fielder. On the bump this afternoon for the Indians will be Lily Giosa. Giosa, the junior starting pitcher here this afternoon. And this will be how the Indians will stack up defensively. From left to right in the outfield will be Megan Aruda in left. Catherine Lancaster will corral center field with Sophia Dias out in right. Left to right across the diamond will be Ava Rimzowitz at third base. Aubrey Carberry at short. Hannah Bouvier at second. Allison Oliveira at first. And calling the pitches for Giosa this afternoon will be the catcher, Samara Turgeon. Pat, you mentioned it at the start of our telecast. This is a perfect afternoon for ball. Not too hot, not too cool, just perfect.
San Diego weather, right?
I've never been to San Diego, but apparently you have. I don't know.
Just once.
Just once. And I guess the weather was like this.
They claim it's like this every day of the year.
And you see the final toss down there by Turgeon, which signifies we are ready to rock and roll at the Quinn Elementary School. So glad you've decided to spend part of your afternoon with us on YouTube and on DCTV, Dartmouth Community Media. Ian Abreu alongside Pat Delfer. And again, here's Sabrina Pereira to lead it off. Pereira, the right-handed batter. And we are underway officially in the DCTV softball season. The first pitch is a one-hopper low for a ball, 1-0. Here's Giosa, getting set, gets the sign. She winds and deals. Cut on and missed for a strike, 1-1. Took a little off that one, Pat. That was a changeup.
Yeah, I saw that, noticed that.
Here's the sign. The 1-1 delivery, way high and wide, 2-1. They're playing Pereira straight away, not to pull. And she does have some gaps in the outfield. Cut on and missed with another changeup, 2-2.
Definitely took something off that, Ian.
Seems like the changeup is going to be her most successful pitch this afternoon, especially what we've seen so far. She drops that right in. Here's the sign, the 2-2. Right back our way. Did you bring your glove?
A souvenir, yeah. 2-2.
Nice play by Pereira to fight it off. It was an outside changeup again. She tried to get her on the wrinkle on the outside piece, but Sabrina just gets a piece. And deuces are wild, still at 2-2. Lily kicks and deals.
Another
again,
souvenir.
right back. Boy, they just want you to catch a ball, don't they? And you can see right here, you can see Pat right up there, right next to me in the press box. Give a little wave. Can't roll. We can see your hand. It's a little dark in here. There's no light bulb.
Caged in a little bit.
Yeah, we're closed in together here. All right, here's the set, the 2-2. High and wide, the count has now run full. Got to admit, this has been a really good first at-bat for the Spartans.
Absolutely.
Win, lose, or draw, whatever happens here. She's
Working the count. Yeah.
Fought off a few pitches. The 3-2. Misses inside for ball 4.
Yep, good eye.
I know that's one you would have swung at.
Got that right.
So it'll be a base-on brawl, and Pereira will scamper down to first. Here's Grace Motto, the second baseman. Very rarely, because of the dimensions of a softball field, you see double play. There's a bunt dropped, but it'll roll foul. Playing small ball early, huh?
There you go.
Got to give credit to head coach Alexandria Andre dialing up the
little National League taste there.
I like that. Dialing it up early. Normally you don't see bunts in the top or bottom half of the first, but hey, take runs any way you can get them. You see Allison Oliveira, the first baseman, really creeped in now, and the 0-1 is cut on and missed for a strike, 0-2. We do have some light clouds hovering above our field, Pat, but the rain has held off, and it's cooled things down. In there, call strike 3, a backwards K as Giosa drops in the deuce. One away as she freezes Motto. One away here in the first. Nice pitch. That now brings up Michaela Brightman, the shortstop, one of their power hitters. As Pat mentioned at the open, she had herself quite a day the other day despite the loss. She drove in a couple of runs, and she had a double.
Nice way to start the season.
One hopper, ball hits the dirt. Turgeon's throw down to second. It'll be a stolen base for Pereira on the one hopper. The one hopper was corralled by Turgeon, but even, Pat, I think if that ball was right into her wickets, I don't think she was going to catch her.
Quite a jump, yeah.
So Pereira is credited with the theft of second base on the one hop throw. 1-0 now the count to Brightman. Swung on and a comebacker right to Giosa. She'll take it. On to Oliveira for the out.
Nice play, yeah.
That was nice.
Yep.
She's sort of shaking her right hand there. She may have gotten a little bit of a stinger there. And on the 1-3 put out, the runner
but was patient.
We'll take a look at that last comebacker.
Yeah. Yep. Still made the play. Nice. Got the out.
And Pereira does advance to third. That brings up the power-hitting cleanup hitter, Olivia Brousseau, the catcher. She takes a ball outside, so Bishop, Stang, and Brousseau have a golden opportunity here to draw first blood in the top half of the first. And let's see if Giosa and company can get themselves out of the jam. Swinging a ground ball right to Rimzowicz at third, across the diamond.
Play.
Nice scoop by Oliveira.
Yep.
And that'll retire the side. After 1/2 inning of play, the Spartan strand a runner. They scored nothing. Spartans 0, Indians coming up here on Dartmouth Community Media. So, Pat, again, that was a very good first inning for the Indians in regard to they had the first runner get on with a base on ball.
Yep.
Pereira stole second. She moved over to third. They were threatening, but the Indians held their ground, and you got to give credit to Giosa. She induced 2 ground ball outs and a strikeout.
The infield looked sharp, I got to say, early in the season. They made some nice plays there.
As the visiting Spartans take the field, let's take a look at their starting lineup out on the field.
So Eleanor Sena is in left field. We have Avery Clough in center, Hannah Ramalho right field, Sabrina Pereira at third base, Emma Gomes at first. We have Grace Motto at second base, Michaela Brightman at shortstop, and we have Hannah Fortin on the mound with our backstop Olivia Brousseau.
Thanks, Pat. And the starting lineup in batting order for the Indians will have Lily Giosa, the starting pitcher, leading off. Aubrey Carberry, the shortstop, batting second. Samara Turgeon bats third, and again, she's the catcher. Ava Rimzowicz will be the cleanup hitter in at third base. Batting fifth, Hannah Bouvier, the second baseman. Batting sixth, Megan Aruda will be in left field again. Batting seventh, Catherine Lancaster in center. Batting eighth, Sophia Dias in right. And batting ninth and rounding out the order will be Allison Oliveira. And again, they'll be facing off against Hannah Fortin on the bump. Beth Arguin, who is the head coach of this team, also coaches them at third base. First pitch, it's dropped in for a strike.
Nipped the corner.
Just dropped it in there. She put a slight wrinkle on it. Fortin gets the sign, the 0-1.
Little chin music.
It just goes behind Giosa. Lily almost got nicked.
They going to look at this one?
They're going to call New York. 1-1 now your count. And as
go to the war room, right?
And Lily takes a full hack, and she fouls it off 1-2. So Lily finds herself in a quick hole at 1-2. And you can see now she crouches in further into the plate to fight it off. Line drive, center field.
Drop in.
Base hit. So Lily Giosa leads things off with a rocket up the middle, and she's on. And she's getting things cooking here for Dartmouth, and she'll be on first for the second hitter and shortstop, Aubrey Carberry. So Carberry Now she digs in. She's bunting, and the ball is just deflected
just
wild
tipped,
and
yeah.
just tipped out of play.
Didn't hear it.
It'll be 0-1. So now we see Arguin and the Indians playing a little small ball. The bunt was on, the hit and run was on to move the runner over. Giosa was off to the races, and Aubrey tried to drop it down, but she just missed. The 0-1 is low and inside, and throwing down is Brousseau, trying to pick off Giosa.
Caught her off guard there, yeah.
Almost caught her off guard, sure. She was getting a little too aggressive on the lead, and she was almost caught in the cookie jar. 1-1. Change up, a high pop fly to right. It'll sail foul.
So 1-2 on Aubrey now.
Here's the sign from Fortin. The 1-2, swinging a drive to deep right center field. Close back to the track.
Into the gap.
That's into the gap. It'll be a two-bagger. It'll be a double for Aubrey Carberry. And Giosa navigates over to third. And the Indians have something cooking here in the first. Let's take another look at that, Pat.
Yep.
Nice hit.
Beautiful. Plays perfectly.
Here's Samara Turgeon, takes a breaking ball just inside for a ball, 1-0.
Two in scoring position, no outs. Great start for the Indians.
Turgeon gets a hit here. That could knock in 2 runs depending on where it goes. The 1-0 outside. The ball is dropped by Brousseau, but not enough to advance. So now Samara finds herself in a hitter's count at 2 balls and no strikes. Here's the 2-0. Swinging a line drive center field. Clough comes in, can't get it, over her head, all the way to the wall. Giosa scores, Carberry scores, Turgeon going to third, and she is gunned down. Nice relay throw by Michaela Brightman, and she guns her down on the tag applied by Sabrina Pereira, but the damage regardless certainly done. It's a double and a 2-run RBI double for Samara Turgeon. It's 2-0 Indians. She was a little too aggressive in going on third. She should have stayed at second.
Yep. That was a beautiful throw, though.
Clough to Brightman to Pereira on the tag. It was bang, bang, but they got her. Rimzowitz now, the cleanup hitter and third baseman, takes a ball outside. Here's the 1-0. Swinging a line drive down the line. Fair ball going all the way to the fence. That'll be an easy stand-up double for the Indians and Rimzowitz. And their bats are on fire here in the home half of the first. My, oh my. That brings up Hannah Bouvier, the second baseman. Now she has a great chance to knock home a run. She takes a strike.
Bats alive early for the Indians here. Wow.
But you can see, as I said in the open, you've got one team that's loaded with veterans that knows what they're doing. There's a pop-up on the infield, diving and making the catches. Grace Motto, nice play.
Beautiful catch.
Grace had to run a long way because they were playing Hannah somewhat deep. So that'll be an F4 if you're scoring at home. Here's Megan Aruda, the left fielder. The left-handed hitting left fielder, swinging a chopper right to the shortstop. That's Brightman across the diamond to Gomes in time to get her by a step, and that'll retire the sign. But not before. The Indians plate 2, and after 1 inning of play, the score, Dartmouth 2, Bishop Stang 0, and we'll be right back with the second inning of play in just a moment on DC TV. So it'll be the 5th, 6th, and 7th hitters due up for the Spartans here in the top half of the second. Gomes, Romalo, and Senna. 2-0 your score in favor of the Indians. And Pat, again, just if you want to recap that, bottom half of the first for the Indians, their bats were on fire. Of course, it was highlighted by Samara Turgeon's 2-run double.
That was the key play. And she probably should have stopped at second base, but you have to admire her aggressiveness, though, going for the triple. But boy, what an inning! What a start for the home team on their home opener.
And their bats were locked in and loaded. All right, so Emma Gomes, the first baseman, will lead it off. Gomes, the lefty. I knew she'd be a left-hand hitting first baseman because I saw her as the left-handed fielding first baseman, sort of like John Olerud, if you want to go old school.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what Emma can do here. It's a righty on lefty matchup. First pitch on the way. It's popped up right on the infield. Lily Giosa will give way to Samara Turgeon, and Turgeon will put it away for the quick first out. It'll be an F2 pop-out, 1 away. All that now brings up Hannah Romalo, the right fielder. The righty digs in. Glad you've joined us here on DCTV, Dartmouth Community Media, and on YouTube this afternoon for this game. Trust me, parents and fans, we wish you were here, but unfortunately you're not, so hopefully you enjoy our call of the action, and hopefully we make you laugh a little bit. Right. We make it a little less painful for you. 0-1 the count. 0-1 inside. It's a ball, 1-1.
Feels very interesting, the infield here, Ian. I noted that to you before the game.
It's very hard.
Very fast, yeah.
Very compacted clay, not clay, but gravel, really. It's what it is. 1-1, a hacker back our way, and
no souvenir this time.
no souvenir, and Hannah finds herself in a 1-2 hole. You just want a souvenir so bad, don't
waiting,
you? Is this bringing you back to your old Shea Stadium days? You Met fans, you. The 1-2 pitch, swinging a high pump up. Oliveira gives chase by the dugout. She can't get to it.
Yeah, people hear I'm from New York and they think automatically, you know what? Nope.
No, you're not a Yankees fan.
Mets fan.
Some people say Mets fans are worse than Yankee fans. I don't know. Oh, boy.
You didn't grow up with them.
And I have a question for you about that in a minute.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to get to that. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. She struck her out, and I think Hannah thought
it got away,
Samara dropped it, and she
Yeah.
was heading down to first, but it was a clean catch on the strikeout. 2 down. That now brings up Eleanor Senna, the left fielder. But it's interesting, I've noticed, if you're a Mets fan, that means you're a Jets fan usually and an Islanders fan. And if you're a Giants fan, that means you're a Yankees and a Rangers fan. Why does it play out that way?
It has to do with the old teams, and it's the old guard and the new guard. So
okay,
the Mets, Jets, and Islanders all came about in the 60s and 70s. They were all born then, I should say.
0-1 the count to Senna. Low and away, 1-1.
Though a lot of people my generation like the Rangers the Islanders and the Yankees because they were so good in the late 70s and 80s, both teams.
Yeah. Those old Billy Martin teams.
Yeah.
Swinging a grounder right to the first baseman, Allison Oliveira. She hoovers it up, steps on the bag, 3 unassisted to retire the side. We have an inning and a half in the books here at the Quinn Elementary School. The score, Dartmouth 2, Bishop Stang nothing. So, yeah, it's interesting you say that, Pat, about the way that all plays out, that dynamic with the fans. And I remember as a young man back in the 80s, as a kid growing up, I remember John Sterling calling Islanders games.
Yeah. That was kind of I think that was his major league debut.
That was.
With any team, yeah.
And he's still with the Yankees now, of course.
Is.
Is he still with Susan Waldman?
Susan Waldman, yep.
Still is.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I don't get WFAN anymore, really, so I listen to the obviously EEI and the Red
Sure,
Sox. That's what I
absolutely.
listen to. But
Yep.
you can see us right here. Hi, folks. Good to see you.
Guys.
It's a pleasure to be here again. You can't really see us. We're through multiple layers here. A backstop chain fence, and we have the press box. There's no light in here, and
They don't want me getting a foul ball.
good thing for the viewers, they don't see our faces, though. It'll be the 7th, 8th, and 9th hitters due up for the Tribe this inning. It'll be Catherine Lancaster, the center fielder, to lead it off. Takes a strike right down Broadway, 0-1. We are in the home half of the second. The 0-1. Lancaster swinging a chopper right to Motto, up, over to Gomes, one away. That'll be a 4-3 put out. Room service hop for Grace, and it was ever so easy to toss it over to Emma at first. That brings up Sophia Dias, the right fielder, the 8th hitter. She digs in. Takes one high and away for a ball. Fortin gets the sign. The 1-0 drops into the deuce, 1-1. Playing her straight away. The 1-1, swinging a chopper right back to Fortin at the mound. Grabs it, fires onto first in time for the out by a couple of steps. 2 away. The first baseman, Gomes, has been busy here in this second inning.
Certainly has. Yeah.
All right, here's Allie Oliveira, the first baseman and number 9 hitter. She rounds out the order. Takes a strike on the outside edge, 0-1. Hannah takes a signal, and the one hot pitch is low and away, 1-1. I tell you, it seems as though Hannah Fortin has certainly had a nice bounce back after a rocky first inning. The 1-1 swinging a chopper right to Emma. She bobbles it, but steps on
Good
the bag in the
there,
recovery.
Yeah. Well, tale of 2 innings, huh?
It was. Steps on the bag, 3 and assisted to retire the side. After 2 full innings of play here at the Quinn Elementary School, the score the same, Indians 2, Spartans 0. We'll be right back with third inning action in just a moment. And we're back to the top half of the third inning now at the Quinn Elementary School. Ian Abreu alongside Pat Delfer. So glad you've decided to spend part of your Wednesday afternoon with us. It'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up for Bishop Stang. It'll be Sienna Sylvia, the designated player, to lead it off. And the designated player, for those who aren't aware at home, it's analogous to the designated hitter you would see in baseball at any level, really. But except in softball, they call it the DP. She just hits, and Sienna takes the first pitch low for a ball. Lily gets the sign, the 1-0. Dropped in there for a strike, 1-1. Line drive to right, out of play, 1-2. You see Now with 2 strikes, Sienna Sylvia now chokes up on the bat to get a better handle, and she's crotched in more into the plate to try to fight it off. The 1-2 delivery. Swinging a chopper off the plate. That's a fair ball. Grabbed by Rimzowicz across the diamond. Yes, to Oliveira. Nice
Very
play.
nice, clean play. Yeah.
And she had to hurry on that.
She did. She was getting down the line there.
Here's Avery Clough, the center fielder. Thinking about a bunt on her way on. She was thinking about that bunt up along the third baseline, but she pulls the bat back and takes a strike. Now with that, Ava Rimzowicz will now creep in at third because the hand of Clough has been tipped off here and what she wants to do. She's trying it again and she misses. It's a strike. 0-2.
Assume she'll be swinging away this time.
She's not going to bunt. I would hope not, but who knows.
Signals coming down from coach at third.
That's head coach Andrade. Here's the 1-2. Trying it again,
Yeah,
and she fouls it off, and that's a strikeout.
Yeah.
My, oh my.
Interesting strategy.
Well, obviously head coach Alexandria Andrade was confident that Clough could still get it down, but clearly she just misfired there, and it's a strikeout for the Indians and for Lily Giosa, and we will now springboard back to the top of the order. It's Sabrina Pereira, who drew a base on ball in her first at-bat. She ended up being stranded at third base. If you remember, she stole a base, and she advanced on a ground out, but that's where she stayed. She didn't go any further. A line drive right to Carberry at short. She snags it easy as pie, and that'll retire the side in the top half of the third. After 2.5 of play here at the Quinn Elementary School, the score the same. Indians 2, Bishop Stang 0.
Pretty uneventful so far after the the burst out in the bottom of the first for Dartmouth.
Well, it's become a pitcher's duel.
It has.
Giosa's had her stuff with the exception of 1 walk, and despite a rocky first inning for a Hannah Fortin, Pat, she too has settled down.
She has. Yep.
But the dangerous part of the order for the Indians will be starting off here in the bottom half of the third. You have to deal with Lily Giosa, then Aubrey Carberry, then Samara Turgeon, then Ava Rimzowicz if you get that far. So you are now heading into the meat of your order.
Samara with that big hit in the first.
She had that double, that 2-run RBI double, and she was thrown out at third on that great throw from Clough to Brightman to Pereira.
It was a beauty. Had to be perfect, and it was right on the mark.
And hindsight's 20/20, Pat, because if she stayed at second, she would have been advanced on the grounder later on in the inning, and who knows what would have happened. But, hey, it is what it is. The Indians still, regardless, have a 2-run lead, and here's Giosa. Takes one inside for a ball. You want to be careful with her. She certainly has a lot of pop. Outside, 2-0. It's now a prime hitter's count for Lily Giosa. Here's the 2-0. A strike is dropped right down the middle of the chute, and she takes all the way, 2-1. 2-1 from Hannah. Way inside, 3-1. And again, Lily finds herself in a hitter's count at 3 balls and a strike. So you taking or you swinging here, Pat?
Yeah, big opportunity here. Well,
she's taken, and it's a ball.
There's our answer.
And this spells trouble. Big trouble for Bishop Stang.
It certainly is the heart of the lineup for the Indians.
We know Carberry can rake. She drilled a double in her first at-bat. She's bunting, surprisingly, drops it down, and it's a beauty. It'll be a 5-3 sacrifice putout.
That was textbook.
Nice bunt. That'll be a 5-3 putout on the sacrifice, dropped down by Aubrey Carberry. And now you have the power-hitting Samara Turgeon, the catcher, with a chance to drive home a run here with a runner in scoring position with less than 2 outs. Remember, she had the 2-run RBI knock in the first. Pop up on the first pitch. Brousseau behind the plate calls for it and makes the catch. Olivia Brousseau, excellent athleticism there to get right up and catch the foul tip into foul territory. That's a huge second out for Stang.
That's a big out. That's a huge out, Ian.
Now you have Rimsowitz up, takes a ball outside. Ava, the third baseman, she too drilled a double back in the first. The Indians had back-to-back-to-back doubles in that first frame. Takes one outside, 2-0. It would be a crying shame if the Indians were to squander this opportunity.
Right.
The 2-0 from Hannah drops it in. That was a little outside, I thought, in my opinion. You agree?
Blue didn't seem to think so.
Well, of course, we know more than the umpires
Right.
as announcers, right? 2-1 in the dirt. It's a one-hopper. It's corralled by Brousseau. And thinking about scampering down to third that time was Giosa, but she smartly stays put. And now it's a 3-1 count to Ava. Rimsowitz down the line, foul.
Nice hack.
She was on top of that one. She pulled it. Just pulled it a little too hard. Now the count is full. And if you're Hannah Foran and the Spartans, you want to make a good pitch here. Can't do it. Ball in the dirt. Throw down to third. Safe. It'll be a base on ball. Rimsowitz will reach first. And on the bobble, Carberry.
Is everybody all right down at third?
Yeah, I think
so. A little
so.
slow to get up there.
So Giosa gets up. She slid into first, head first. Let's take a look. Did she jam a thumb or something?
She went in
It
awkwardly.
was sort of.
Yeah.
Yes. So she tried to slide, but then it turned into a head first. She then tried to reach out with her hands.
They just overruled. They just overruled the original call.
Now they're going to call her out.
Yep.
If we can take a look at that again and we get back from the break, I'd like to check that out because, man, that looked like an out to me. I mean, that she was safe to me, but maybe she slid off the bag and the ball was there. We'll have to take another look at that, but after 3 innings of play, the score, Dartmouth 2, Bishop Stang 0. We'll be right back with the 4th inning of action in just a moment. Well, top half of the 4th here, and Dartmouth again squanders a pretty good opportunity. Despite all of that, they still do lead 2-0. Pat, let's take a look at that last out where Giosa was tagged out going to third.
Yeah.
We're a little confused. Let's see what happens.
See this again, Ian. See right there what I'm talking about?
No, it looks like she got tagged on her backside before the left hand.
Okay.
If we can play
the magic of replay, right?
If we can play that one more time, it looked like she was tagged on the back, and she tried to go around with the right hand, and she just missed. Let's take a look. So the naked eye looked as though she was safe with the right hand, and she was called safe at first, and oh yeah, you see her right there.
Yeah, she did get her.
She got her right on the back. Another example of aggressive base running coming back to bite the Indians.
Yeah, yep.
You would have had 2 on for Hannah Bouvier, who can also swing a mean stick. Well, anyway, it is what it is, and the Indians
in the books.
The Indians still have the lead, fortunately, if you're an Indian fan, and now it's time for the Spartans to try to make some noise because they're still in this thing. It'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up in this frame. It'll be Motto, Brightman, and Brousseau. Grace Mata is 0 for 1. She was the victim of a backwards K in her first at-bat, called out on strikes. Just a reminder to folks, high school softball, it is 7 innings of play. It is not 9. So when we head to the top half of the 7th, if the Indians are winning, that could be the last half inning. Or vice versa, if they're losing, the bottom half could be the end as well. First pitch, swinging a Baltimore chop off the plate,
Oh.
grabbed by Rimsowitz, and she has to put it in her back pocket. She just bobbled it. That'll be an E5, and reaching on the error will be Motto. That's one probably a great fielder like Ava Rimsowitz wishes that she had back. She had it.
90% of the time she makes that play. Yep.
Now here's Michaela Brightman, the power hitting cleanup hitter.
Whoa.
Swinging a snap throw down to
That
first.
was very close.
And just getting back
Very
to
close,
first was Motto. She took a big lead.
She did.
So Brightman, the shortstop, she's 0 for 1. She grounded back to the mound in her first at-bat, grounded right back to Giosa. There was a hit-and-run call there as going off on the pitch was Motto. Brightman was swinging for the downs, and she fouled it back. So I kind of like what I'm seeing here by Stang. A little bit of aggressive baseball. Yeah. They're trailing. They're 0-2. They need a spark. They need to get a win.
Finding a way to get things lit here, yeah.
Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. And Turgeon thought about a snap throw again, but she'll hang on. 1-2.
Boy, she's daring her down there, isn't she?
She is. Of course, as you can see here in softball, because the foot parameters between all of the bases are much smaller than baseball, they don't lead off the base like you see in baseball. Here's the 1-2. Swinging a drive to right center. It'll drop right in front of Sophia Dias. And it'll be 2-on with nobody out here in the top half of the fourth. Nice at bat by Michaela Brightman to go opposite field. And now you're asking for trouble. The power hitting cleanup hitter, the catcher, Olivia Brousseau, will dig in with 2 on and nobody out. The question is, do you try to bunt the 2 over or do you swing away? I would swing away. Swing and a miss. She is, and she misses.
Golden opportunity here.
I agree with you.
No outs.
Motto off of second. Brightman off of first. Motto reached on the error. Brightman single to right. Brousseau swinging a drive to right. It's out of play. And she is quickly in an 0-2 hole.
Did you hear the windshield smash?
Somebody better call Laser Glass.
Right.
When I used to broadcast Newport Gulls games, we would always say over the PA, or the guy would, better call Newport Glass. They paid like 10 grand for that. Here's the 0-2 outside. Wow. And you're a salesman. Is that a pretty good? Is that high?
That's pretty high, I'd say, yeah.
Yeah, but, I mean, you know, that name was broadcasted, you know.
How many games were there?
About 20 home games.
Yeah, that's like actually that's.
And they would say it over the PA at least. Hey, swing and a miss. Strike 3 on the changeup. Big first out. But no, they would say that over the PA at least maybe 10 times a game. So maybe the value was there.
Yeah.
But back to more serious business. That was a big strikeout by Lily.
Big strikeout.
No such thing as double play depth in softball. The dimensions are too tight, too close for a double play, so they'll just play Emma Gomes straight on. Swinging a ground ball. Line drive caught onto first. Trying for a double play was Bouvier, and the throw goes wild of Oliveira. And advancing to second and third now will be the 2 runners. It will be an out on the line drive. That was caught by Hannah, so that'll be an F4. So Emma is out, but as a result on the errant throw, both Motto and Brightman advance as Bouvier tried to double off Brightman off of first, and she just threw it wild.
2 outs, 2 Spartans in scoring position.
Here's Hannah Ramalho swinging a ground ball to right, out of play. Base hit here could pretty much tie the game.
Sure could.
And that's an example right there. I was talking about the dimensions. If it was regular dimensions, you would play that on the hop and get the 2. Line drive, left field, base hit. In comes 1 run. In comes a second run, and we're tied at 2. A big 2-out, 2-run RBI single by Hannah Ramalho. And we are tied at 2 apiece.
What do they sue? A brand new shiny one?
Let's take a look. That was quite a stroke.
That was. She
Nothing
put it right where she wanted to.
Nothing Megan Aruda, the left fielder, could have done about that. But again, there's a prime example of how the miscue by Bouvier.
I was just going to say that, Ian. Yep,
Right?
that really, yep.
Now we're tied at 2. That brings up Eleanor Senna, the left fielder. Senna is 0 for 1. She ground out to first in her first at-bat. Lily needs to just calm down and get unrattled here. Line drive right to first. Snagged by Ali Oliveira. It'll be an F3 on the pop-out. That'll retire the sign. But not before the Spartans plate 2 runs on the 2-run, 2-out RBI single by Hannah Ramallo, the right fielder, to tie the ball game up at 2 apiece. And after 3.5 here at the Quinn Elementary School, the score, you see it right there, Spartans 2, Indians 2, here on DCTV. Well, Pat, as we head to the home half of the 4th, it's time for the Indians to really get their bats going.
Yes, absolutely, Ian. Yep. They missed opportunities, some defensive miscues. This game could easily be 5-0 right now. And unfortunately, it's knotted at 2, and we'll see what the Indians have in the tank.
Well, it'll be Hannah Bouvier, Megan Aruda, and Caitlin Lancaster due up for the Indians here in this frame. There she is, Hannah, one of the volleyball team stars. Boy, I tell you, I know Hannah from her volleyball days. She is a fierce competitor. I wouldn't be shocked if she were to get a nice hit right here to atone for the mistake last inning. There's a drop in for a strike, 0-1. And I'm pretty sure her dad, Mike, is watching this game.
Yeah.
So hello to Mike. You're a good man. Here's the 0-1. Swinging a ground ball hard right to the shortstop. Bobbled up, throws in time. She got her. Nice play by Michaela Brightman to stay with it and to fire it onto Gomes to get the hustling Bouvier by a step. Oh, that brings up Megan Aruda, the left fielder. She's 0 for 1. She grounded to short in her first at-bat back in the first. Hannah Fortin has settled down nicely. First pitch, a changeup just high and away. Megan now finds herself in a hitter's count at 2 balls and no strikes with Catherine Lancaster, the center fielder, on deck. Swinging a ground ball up the middle.
Seeing eye base hit.
Base hit. Nice hit by Megan up the middle, and the Indians have got something cooking here in the 4th. Here's a golden opportunity for Catherine Lancaster to get something going. She has a big space out in the right center field gap between Clough and Ramallo. Takes one outside for a ball.
Megan taking a little bit of a lead down there at first. Like you said, she's looking to make something happen out there on the bases.
Here's the 1-0. Snap throw down, and diving back safely is Aruda. Nice snap by Brousseau to...
You've had some close plays.
Almost catch Megan leading.
Catchers are these snap throws.
You got to pay attention with Turgeon and Brousseau back there. They're going to snap throw all day long. Lancaster, a big swing and a miss. It's bounced in the dirt, throwing it down to second, and she's safe.
Make it, yep. I saw that coming.
Megan Aruda was waiting for a golden opportunity, and she waited for the wild pitch, the bouncer in front of Brousseau. Brousseau was able to block it, but it was before. It was too late and going. And there's a backward strikeout on the outside corner as Lancaster is strucken out, and she Ks for her first strikeout of the afternoon. And now that brings up Sophia Dias.
See what she can do.
Swinging a ground ball to the shortstop, grabbed by Brightman, up and throws, drop, no good. The ball goes behind, and here comes the runner to slide, and she's in safely on the error.
Wow.
Michaela Brightman had it, bobbled it, went to fire on to first to try to get Dyer. She probably should have ate that one. The throw was wild on Emma Gomes.
It was a beautiful backhand stab by the shortstop, too.
It was.
Yeah.
And Emma just had it go under the wickets. And it went all the way up along the right field line on the errant throw. And as a result, scampering home was Megan Aruda, and it's 3-2. Hey, take them any way you can get them. And there's a strike to Ali Oliveira. So reaching on the error was Sophia Dias. And here's Ali Oliveira swinging a line drive down the line. That hits the chalk. That's a fair ball. Going into third will now be Sophia Dias, and standing up at second with a double will be Ali Oliveira. And now the Indians have 2 in scoring position for Lily Giosa.
Back in business.
Here's the first pitch from Hannah, high and wild to the backstop. Incoming the run, and it'll score. On the wild pitch that just goes away from Olivia Brousseau, it's 4-2. And advancing now to third is Oliveira. Dias scores, Oliveira goes to third. There's another bouncer, and we're getting a little bit of wildness here from Hannah Fortin here in this home half of the fourth. It doesn't matter how pretty, it matters how many.
Absolutely.
But Lily now finds herself in a hitter's count. 2-0. Takes one right on the outside corner for a strike.
Let's see if she has the green light here.
Assuming she will. The 2-1. Swinging a line drive, right field, fair ball, base hit, down the line, a run will score, and scampering into second, and still on her feet, and running to third, going for a triple, and she stands in safely. A triple for Lily Giosa, helping her own cause, driving home a run, and it's 5-2 Indians. Let's take a look at that, Pat.
Boy, what aggressive base running. She just had her mind on third base.
She was on second, and she decided, you know what? I'm not going to slide. I'm going to stay on my feet, and I'm going to go all the way to third. She
went in standing up, yeah.
And she went in standing up. It was actually a closer play than I thought. Of course, at third, you have to tag. It's not a force out, so high and wide. It's a ball on the outside corner.
This happened in a flash, didn't it?
Aubrey Carberry had a double. She's 1 for 1, and she also was credited with a sacrifice bunt back in the third. Outside for a ball, 2-0. Hannah looks and gets the sign. The 2-0. Drops home a strike, 2-1. Swinging a ground ball up the middle. Base hit. Another run will score at 6-2.
2-out base hit.
The ball was bobbled by Clough, and sliding into second. Taking second base will be Carberry. She'll be credited with an RBI single, and she'll take second on the error out by Clough. And head coach Andrade of the Spartans has seen enough, and she's going to come out and have a word with her pitcher. Let's take a look at that last rocket single by Carberry.
Bats are hot this inning.
And she takes second on the aggressive base running. So it'll be not a double, it'll be a single, and she takes second on the error. Let's see if Hannah will stay on the bump. She will.
Looks like she will.
No bullpen here in this case. It's usually you bring in another position player and you.
No buggy out there.
No buggy, like the old 70s.
Buggy with the helmets.
All right, that brings up Samara Turgeon. Now you're in for a world of hurt. Now there's a ground ball to Brightman across the diamond. Just gets her, not by much.
Yeah.
That's a huge out because Samara Turgeon's been locked in today, but she grounds out 6-3 to retire the side, but not before the Indians sent 8 batters to the plate and plate 4 runs to take now a 6-2 lead. They respond to the Spartans tying the game last inning, and they responded in a big way. We now head to the top half of the 5th with the score, Dartmouth 6, Bishop Stang 2. We'll be right back in just a moment on DCTV. Welcome back on DCTV. Ian Abreu alongside Pat Dulfer, and I think we're going to have a substitution here for the Indians. I see Beth Arguin out speaking with the umpires, and let's take a look at that while we... It looks like, okay, Allison Oliveira is now going to be on the bump, number 17. She is now going to pitch. So Ali Oliveira will now be the pitcher. That'll be a substitution for the Indians. And Ali was at first. And Lily Giosa will now go to first. So Lily Giosa and Ali Oliveira are going to do the old switcheroo.
Not a double switch, but close enough.
So it's a simple switch. 17 in for 13, 13 in for 17.
So do you go back as far as the bullpen buggies, Ian, or do you?
Well,
was that too long ago?
No, I don't go back. I don't go back as far as it, but I remember seeing them on highlights. I am a baseball historian, so with my dad and everything. So, in fact, the old Twin Souvenir Shop at Fenway Park used to have one of the old buggies.
I've got a picture of myself in that.
There you go.
In the red side, yeah, it's the big place.
See,
right
I know what
there.
I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, you do. How dare I question you, Ian?
You can't.
You know yourself.
Come on, Pat. Come on, as Joe Biden would say. Come on, man. All right, we have the 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up for the Spartans. It'll be Sylvia, Clough, and Pereira. So the 8, 9, and 1. Sylvia 0 for 1, grounded to third in her first at bat. So Giosa started it, and we'll see if Ali Oliveira can close it out. It's obviously Giosa's game to win. She would get the win if the Indians can hold on. And Ali is just trying to maintain the lead and close it out. The Spartans have 3 more cracks at this. They'll have the 5th, 6th, and 7th innings to hit. All right, Ali gets the signal. Kicks and deals. Swinging a chopper off the plate right back to Ali, and she's going to get Lily into business right away. She'll throw on to first for the out, 1 away.
The double switch just combined for the out.
That's one way to get acclimated, huh?
Right.
Brings up Avery Clough, who struck out swinging back in the 3rd. She's 0 for 1. Now remember, she was a strikeout on the bunt. Trying to bunt again. That's a foul ball. It just goes foul.
Boy, bunts are running wild today, aren't they? Or attempts, I should say.
I've seen a lot of softball players over the years. They can really get a lot of success off of that. It's sort of like they start running as the pitch is coming. It's like a drag, exactly.
Yeah.
And that seems to be Avery's thing here, but it was unsuccessful in her first at-bat. Tries it again, right in front of the plate. It might be successful, and she's got it. An infield hit. Well done.
It's going to happen sooner or later.
Yep. Right in front of both Turgeon and Oliveira. Neither could get to it. It was in that no man's land.
It was perfectly played. Yep. Just kind of died right there.
All right, here's Sabrina Pereira, 0 for 1. She also walked back in the first. The third baseman and leadoff hitter as we now springboard back to the top of this order. Takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. The 0-1. Swinging a line drive up the middle, base hit, and the Spartans have got something cooking here in the top half of the fifth. Back-to-back singles, an infield, and a frozen rope. 2 on, nobody out for Grace Motto. Here he is, Grace Motto, 0 for 2, struck out and grounded. Right field, base hit, right in front of Sophia Dias, past the outstretched dive of Bouvier.
They're going to send her.
They're going to send her. Ooh, she's caught now. They sent her, but they brought her back. As getting sent around was Avery Clough, but then they sent her back. And that was the right play because the throw was in quick by Sophia Dias. And we're loaded up from Michaela Brightman, the power-hitting shortstop who's 1 for 2. She had a single and a run scored back in the fourth. Remember, she scored on that 2-run RBI single by Hannah Ramallo. Bases jacked, swinging the ground to the third. Throw home out there, and they don't have enough for double play. But that was a nice play by Ava Rimzowitz to gun it right home to Samara Turgeon. That'll be a 5-2 putout. And reaching on the putout is Brightman. It'll be a fielder's choice.
2 outs are still jammed, Ian.
They're loaded up now for Olivia Brousseau, the other power-hitting foe of the Indians here. So we're going to chop her off the plate right to Rimzowitz across the diamond, and the Indians get out of a huge jam. They had 2 on right at one point with nobody out. Then they had the bases loaded with 1 out, and they get out of the jam. After 4.5 innings of play, the score, Dartmouth 6, Bishop Stang 2 here on DCTV. Wow, Pat, that was a great opportunity for Bishop Stang to get back into this thing, but got to give credit to the
Dartmouth's
pitcher.
defense really showed them their strength.
Well, a couple of things.
Yeah.
Ali Oliveira buckled down.
Yep.
Ava Rimzowitz with 2 great plays at third.
Absolutely.
And Sophia Dias. If she didn't gun into that ball on that last single, a run would have scored.
Yep.
So make no mistake about it. That last
slammed
single,
the door in that inning.
that last single by Grace Motto, a run would have scored if she didn't fire that ball in.
Yep.
Still on the mound for Bishop Stang, surprisingly, Pat, is Hannah Ford, and she'll be back out for her 5th inning of action. It'll be the 4, 5, 6 hitters due up for the Indians, Rimzowitz, Bouvier, and Aruda. We are just about approaching the 1-hour mark of this game, and we're in the bottom half of the 5th. A beautiful day for softball or baseball here in southeastern Massachusetts. We happen to be on the campus of the Quinn Elementary School in the town of Dartmouth, Mass. for the homestanding Indians here for their cross-town, cross-rival tilt between themselves and the Spartans of Bishop Stang. This is a non-league game, but regardless, these two teams do play every year in all different sports.
It's traditional, yeah.
It's traditional.
Yep.
They're cross-town rivals. Outside, it's a ball, 0-1. Excuse me, 1-0.
Here comes the sun again.
And it's all right. You'll find working with me after a while, I get to be a little corny sometimes, but I like to have fun. Here's the 1-0. That was a beautiful pitch to hit that time for Rimzowitz. That was a hanger, and I think it caught her by surprise. She just decided to swing, but at the last minute, and she fouled it off 1-1. Ava is 1 for 1, has a double.
Check swing there.
1 for 1. She had a double in the first, and she drew a walk back in the third. Now she finds herself in a 1-ball, 2-strike hole. Outside, 2-2. Here's the stretch, the 2-2. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes now, the count. I stand corrected, folks. That wasn't 2 strikes, so now it's 2 strikes. Swinging a pop-up right to the third baseman, Pereira, and she puts it away for the out. 1 away here in the 5th on the F5. Here's Hannah Bouvier. She's 0 for 2 this afternoon. Popped to second and grounded to short. First pitch swinging down the line. Nice stag by Pereira across the diamond. Trying for the scoop is Gomes. She can't gain a handle. And scampering down to second is Hannah. And she'll get there. It'll be an infield single. And then she'll take second on the errant throw at third. So it'll be an infield single for Hannah Bouvier. And she gets her first hit of the afternoon. And she is now in scoring position for Megan Aruda.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is, Ian.
So Megan had a single in her last at-bat. Line drive, left field, base hit. Are they going to waive her? And Coach Arguin will keep her. She thought about waving her in and sliding back. They almost caught her. Sabrina Perry slides back, but on the throw to third, taking second, is Megan Aruda. So it'll be a single, and she takes second on the throw. So now the Indians have 2 in scoring position for Catherine Lancaster.
With 1 out.
With 1 out. Lancaster, ground ball to short. Grabbed by Brightman to first in time for the out, 6-3. And now we have a pickle. We have a pickoff attempt, double play. Not sure what Megan Aruda was doing there, Pat. That was a clear as day out.
No man's land there.
She was picked off. There's nowhere she could have gone because Hannah Bouvier.
Third base was occupied,
Hannah Bouvier wasn't going anywhere anyway.
Yep.
So it's a 6-3 put out, and then it goes from 6-3 to 1 to 6 for the tag for the double play to retire the side. You scoring that at home?
You can fill that in for me, Ian, on my score sheet.
Wow. My, oh my. And that'll retire the side in the home half of the 5th. We are going to head to the top half of the 6th. The score, Dartmouth 6, Bishop Stang 2 here on DCTV, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back at the top half of the fifth, and we have a whole slew of defensive substitutions. We'll get that to you in just a moment. To lead things off will be Emma Gomes, the first baseman. Still on the bump is Ali Oliveira, swinging a chop to third, out of play. So we have Sarah Cabral now in right field coming off the bench, and we have a cross diamond switch. Ava Rimzowitz goes from third to first, and Lily Giosa goes from first to third. Who's on first? What's on second? I don't know's on third. Emma Gomes swinging the grounder right to Hannah Bouvier. Up with it, onto first,
Nice
in
play.
time for the out, one away. You'll find when you broadcast high school softball and baseball games, it's not like the pros when you have an official scorer who tells you
Yeah,
everything.
the announcement didn't come through the press
They,
box.
they don't tell you anything.
We
you know,
actually had to
it's-
use the numbers like the old-fashioned way.
Here's Hannah Romalo swinging a pop-up in foul ground. Turgeon slides.
No.
Almost made a heck of a catch, and she just missed. That would have been a highlight reel catch. But you got to give her credit. She's an old-school dirt dog to slide like that. No regard
She
for
was
her own
going for
body.
that ball. Yep.
She was face
was
first
determined.
into that fence. Yeah. Here's the 0-1 from Allie. Breaking ball misses 1-1.
No padding on those fences either, like the major
No,
leaguers. It's
no. This is the Quinn Elementary School.
right.
Here's the 1-1. Swinging a ground ball, and it'll just roll foul. Smart play by Giosa to let it roll foul. So despite Rimzowitz and Giosa doing the old switcheroo, that won't affect them in the batting order. However, it will affect Sophia Dias. She'll be out of the game, and Sarah Cabral will hit in her spot when she's due up. Swinging a line drive back our way for a swinging strike, and the count is 1-2. Hannah, in her last at-bat, had a 2-run RBI single. She goes around, and it's a strikeout. And dropping the ball was Samara,
Yeah, I
but
wondered, yeah,
she'll toss down to first for the putout, but it will be a swinging
Didn't hear
strikeout.
contact, so yeah,
Yep.
good call, Ian.
Here's Eleanor Senna. Senna 0 for 2 so far this afternoon. 2 outs. Swing and a miss for a strike. 0-1. Allie looks in, kicks and fires. The 0-1 swing and a miss on another changeup. 0-2. And the Indians are now a strike away from culminating a very clean 1-2-3 top half of the sixth. The 0-2. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball way outside. And Senna goes down by way of the K. And that'll retire the side. 1-2-3 goes Bishop Stang in the top half of the sixth. And we will now head to the home half of the sixth with the score 6-2 Dartmouth. So it'll be the 8-9-1 hitters due up here in this inning, Pat. And so Sophia Dias was the leadoff hitter.
Educate me here, Ian.
It'll now be Sarah Cabral.
Okay.
So Sophia's day at the plate ends with an 0 for 2 performance. Grounded out to the pitcher and reached on a infield error back in the fourth.
You know when they say I need a score sheet to keep track of this stuff.
You
Well,
need it. Well,
look what I have in front of me.
You've got it now. Here you go. It brings you back to your old days, your old Shea
Right,
Stadium days.
that's right.
You know, back
That's
when
right.
you were a young
Yep.
lad and
Yeah, Tug McGraw, Jerry Kuzman, the old gang. Yep.
Jesus Christ, you go way back.
I do. Now I was a babe in diapers, but you know.
Do you go back to Casey Stengel and Richie?
Not quite that far.
And Richie Ashburn and Duke Snyder. They all
Not
played.
quite that far. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. The lovable losers, they called them.
Oh, boy. All right, here's Sarah Cabral. Oh, no, check that. Cabral is not going to hit. Cabral came out in the field. It's number 10 up there. That's Joya Alves. So Joya Alves is actually going to be hitting. So Alves will get up there. Takes a ball in the inside corner.
Needless to say, they did become the amazing Mets, though, in '69.
69, that's right.
Got to defend my boys there.
My dad has a Nolan Ryan rookie card from that year, and Joya Alves takes one in between the numbers, and she'll reach first. So she'll reach on the HBP, and that brings up Ali Oliveira. Takes a strike right down the pike. 0-1. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Ball in the outside corner. Snap throw down by the catcher Brusso, and the tag applied by Gomes, but sliding back safely was Alves. Here's Hannah's 1-1. Strike on the outside corner, 1-2.
Boy, these players like to dare the catcher, I'll tell you, down at first.
And it's not a long way to throw.
No.
1-2 offering. Swinging a ground ball right to the shortstop Brightman. She'll get the force out at second. They'll try for the double play, but nothing doing. So it'll be a 6-4 put out, and reaching on the fielder's choice will be Ali Oliveira. That brings up Lily Giosa, the leadoff hitter. Have yourself a day, Lily. She has 2 hits. She's 2 for 2 and a walk, which includes a RBI triple back in the 4th. She was part of that 4-run 4th inning for the Indians, where they really blew it open.
Quite an explosion in that inning, yeah.
And Aubrey Carberry on deck. She also had an RBI knock in that inning. The bats were en fuego in the 4th. Here's the 0-2. And she just misses getting hit by the pitch.
Boy,
or did she
how did
get
she
hit?
dodge that?
Is she trying to sell it? I think she is.
Shoe polish play.
Wait a minute. Are they going to say she was hit? There's some debate here. No. Coach Arguin is making the argument. She's saying that she thinks that she was hit. The naked eye looked as though she wasn't hit, but there's a drive to right coming in as Romalo dives, and she can't make the catch. There's a chance for a force-out throw to second. Not in time. That'll be a hit for Lily Giosa, as having to come in a long way was Hannah Romalo. And Lily is 3 for 3 this afternoon. She's had herself a day. It was almost a force-out despite all of that, because Hannah Romalo was obviously coming in and holding up was, as you mentioned, Joya Alves. Excuse me, Ali Oliveira. Joya Alves was hit, but then she was out after that. There's a chopper right to short. Brightman only plays to first. Not in time.
Jammed again for the Indians.
Beating it out for Carberry. An infield single. Bases are loaded for Samara Turgeon. You're really asking for it now. Here's a replay on that infield single. It was a hard chop, sort of bobbled by Brightman, but that's a hard ball to try to corral. That was a rocket. And one little bobble for the littlest of splittest of seconds, and you're in trouble.
Yes, you're right.
1-0 now the count on Samara Turgeon, and a knock here will pretty much blow this thing wide open. Down the line, snagged by Pereira at third. Out to home there, onto third. A double play. A 5-3-5 inning-ending double play. My, oh my.
Gotta say, that was impressive, Ian.
What a play by Sabrina Pereira to snag the rocket down the line by Samara Turgeon. Fires home to Olivia Brousseau, and then she gets back to cover the bag for the 5-3-5 putout. Wow, that retires the side, and we now head to the top half of the 7th as the final chance for the Bishop Stang Spartans. The score, 6-2 Indians here on DCTV. Well, Pat, what a way to end the bottom half of the sixth. And we're going to take a look at that inning-ending 5-3-5 double play started by Sabrina Perry.
Should be on ESPN tonight.
Look at that. Goes home, and then fires back on to third for the 5-3-5
textbook.
double play.
Textbook.
Yeah, that was something for sure. And the only reason why they were able to get that double play was because the ball was hit so darn hard by Samara Turgeon. And that was a
Gave her
rocket.
plenty of time,
and
yeah.
you've got to give Pereira at third all the credit in the world for getting that hop and scooping it off this rock-solid turf, this gravel of the infield. And
Well, fasten your
she made
seatbelts.
the
Here
play.
we are now. Bottom of the seventh. Yeah.
Well, top of the seventh.
Top of the seventh. Excuse me.
If we're bottom of the seventh, we're
Yeah.
in trouble. Here's Sienna Sylvia with a whole lot of rallying to do here for for the Spartans. They need to plate 4 to at least tie. Sylvia cut on and missed, 0-2. Allie gets the sign, and the 0-2. Nice swing, line drive foul out of play. Nice full swing by the DP, Sylvia.
Who's the windshield company?
Well, for New Bedford, it'd be Glazer Glass.
There you go.
Of course, you've got all the big companies around here
Right.
too.
We don't
so
talk about them.
No. We shop local. We
Yes, we
support
do.
local. We do. Here's Sylvia, the 0-2. Swing and a miss. She's out of there, but Turgeon drops it, and they're going to say no.
Did
No
she
need
tag
to
her?
run. She may have tagged her.
I think she might have tagged her.
One away. Indian pitchers have combined for 7 strikeouts here this afternoon. Here's Avery Clough, 1 for 2 today. She had a single back in the 5th. You may remember Avery. She's that bunt
Well,
player.
she's at it again.
Right to the mound, on to first. In time,
Got her.
1-3, went right to Allie. Not quite in the no man's land we saw 2 innings ago.
Nope.
And now the Spartans are down to their last out, and it's Sabrina Pereira, who's 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. It all comes down to her. Inside for a ball and no strikes. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Swinging a chopper. That is a fair ball grabbed by Rimzowicz. She steps on the bag. That'll retire the side and the game. The Dartmouth High School Indians are victorious this afternoon by the final score of 6-2. Pat, it really worked in all regards for the Indians this afternoon.
Absolutely.
They got great pitching by their starter, Lily Giosa. Their reliever, Ali Oliveira, really held them down. And they got timely hitting when they needed it as well.
Little hiccup there in the early innings, but they certainly recovered nicely and retook the lead and shut the door when they needed to.
Well, with the win, the Indians now improved to a perfect 2-0 thus far on the young season, while the Bishop Stang Spartans fall to 0-3. For our entire production crew here at DCTV, from Mike Fernandez and everyone here, for my broadcast partner, Pat Delfer, my name again is Ian Abreu. We would like to say so long, everyone, and we will look forward to seeing you at our next softball and or high school baseball telecast. So the final score for the final time. The Lady Indians 6, the Lady Spartans of Bishop Stang 2. From all of us here, so long, everybody.